Hi, it's Kansas Drone Gunner. Welcome to the channel. If you're interested to see how I finish up this 308 Winchester project and see if it'll go out to 1,000 yards and make contact on a steel target, stay tuned.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's Kansas Drone Gunner here. It is Sunday, December 6th, approximately 7 a.m. Just now heading off the highway into Ottawa to go to Great Plains Precision Range. And we're going to see if we can't do a couple of things here this morning. The weather's supposed to be pretty nice. It's right at freezing now, 32, but looks like it's going to be close to 50. Currently, there's not really any wind to speak of. So anyway, hopefully have a great day, accomplish a little bit, maybe do some testing and practice, and also like to see what I can do with that 308, maybe make some headway on that project here. So that's all I got for now. We'll see you out at the range. Hopefully we'll have something coming out of this in the next few days. Alright, so here's the deal. I am going to get a quick zero. Decided to go ahead and start out with the 308. It's too nice. Weather's nice. Everything's great. So try to get a couple squeezes here on the trigger. Okay, first one's on the bottom, but that's why I'm zeroing there. Could be cold. All right, one more. Okay. Let's shoot a couple more just for warming up sake here. That. Yep.
Okay, so a little break here. I wanted to maybe just give you a quick little demonstration on the dope. And dope stands for not the same kind of dope maybe some of the kids are into, but data on previous engagement is what dope stands for. So if you hear somebody talk about their shooting dope, that's basically everything that you've acquired based on previous experience and shooting. Maybe previously you've taken some other shots in the same um, with the same equipment, and you can also include the environmental conditions into that as well. So the bullet and cartridge in particular and gun reacts differently depending on what the actual environmental conditions are. So one curious thing here is that this is at 400 yards. So you can see that even at that short distance, the bullet drop is nearly 50 inches. So basically, if you think about shooting up in the air, the pinnacle of the peak of that bullet's travel vertically is going to be 50 feet above where I'm sitting. So thought that might be interesting. Okay, so we've taken the 308 here. We've gone out to 400, no problem. Dope was good. And so now we're going to go after the 800 yard target on our way out to hopefully 1,000. So anyway, we'll put some drone video on it. I'll get that on, get that up in the air and out to the target. Yeah. Boink. Doesn't move it very much, does it? It doesn't have a whole lot of power once it gets there, I don't think. There it goes.
On the right side because it's moved that way.
Yeah. All right. Well, a couple of hits on the 800 yard gong. Okay, so here we are, moved out to the 808 yard target. You can see the dope on that. Putting my firing solution in kind of gives you some idea where I'm at as far as turning my elevation primarily. I mean, the windage is coming almost seems like right in my face, pretty close to it anyway. Maybe a little crosswind still from the west yet, but it's starting to come more from the north. And but you can obviously tell 266 inches. roughly 22 feet. So significant difference between 400 yards and 800, especially when you start look at the foot-pounds of energy difference, 1,322 versus 574 foot-pounds. So definitely dropping fast.
Alright, we're going at 1,100 yards. This thing, so see if we can get a hit. Bingo.
All right, so here's our dope at 1140. Bullet drop at this distance with a 308 pushing, at the speed. If you look there, my bullet speed coming out of the muzzle is approximately 2657, well, 55 or whatever. Certainly it varies per shot. That's part of your standard deviation and extreme spread calculations as far as your loads go. But um, the total drop is over 57 feet at that distance. So significant drop in energy. The pounds per foot, you're down under 350, approximately probably 330 at that distance, foot pounds, which it's more than a mosquito bite, but it definitely isn't as powerful as it would be certainly up close. So um, kind of interesting to see how it does. I mean, the physics and everything that's involved with taking a shot from that distance. There's a lot to it. So if you're curious, I utilize, of course, I have to input all the data, but I utilize an app on my phone. Of course, there's an app for everything now, but this one's called Strelok Pro, Strelok Pro. So I had to buy it, I think, on my I have several of these different ones that I've tried. I've kind of just stuck in with this one, but it's available in your app store.
There it is. Okay, hey everybody. It is the grand finale day we had today out at the range with the 308 Winchester. This is the last, video on this particular rifle. And the goal of it was, if you started out from the beginning, the goal was to go from basically components to the whole process to go out at least 1,000 yards. I said 800 at first, but my goal all along was to get 1,000. So today went to the range this morning. Accomplished that goal, went out to 1,140 yards as you saw in the video. So I just wanted to come back to the shop and do a recap for you. First, we're going to talk a little bit, just real quick, about the rifle that I used and put together. So I assembled this rifle. I purchased a Bergara Premier barreled action in 308 Winchester. I bought that online and had it ship in. So it's proven to be a really good gun. So especially for a factory, I mean, this is, I guess you could consider it a custom rifle, but certainly it's not in the price point that a lot of custom rifles are in. So I think value-wise, this thing performed phenomenally. So that's the action. The action's the middle right here, and of course the barrel. It's sitting on a Masterpiece Arms BA competition chassis. I already had this chassis. The Bergara Premier action is the same as a Remington 700 footprint, so that's kind of the, I guess, for even industry, you know, clones they call them. That's kind of the basis for most of them. They have some, maybe some minor differences between them, but these chassis, that I like this one, this style in particular, just because it's got so many different options, and the fact that I can move different barrel actions from back and forth. I actually had a 22 on this before. So what's next? We are on top of that. Well, I have a Trigger Tech. I'll give you this. I have a Trigger Tech trigger in this. So this one is called a Special, which is not their high-end trigger, but it's a darn good trigger. I think it's set somewhere around 2.5 pounds. Then I have a Vortex Strike Eagle scope. It's a 5 by 25 by 50, so 50 objective, 25 max zoom, and it's an MOA. So a lot of scopes that I use are MRAD scopes, but this one is an MOA scope. And we'll go over, you know, certainly you saw some of the details as far as the elevation adjustment and stuff like that through the video. So, so this performed really well. I was really happy with it. It tracked good. So what's next? It's got an Atlas bipod. So these bipods are pretty nice. They're adjustable. You can, you know, adjust frontwards, height, elevation. Of course, usually I'm running a bag on the back of this thing. So, and then to top it off, I have a Silencer Co. Omega 300 suppressor. So, and I thread this on with, it's actually, I bought an adapter from Area 419 manufacturer. They make a special adapter that works really well. So here's the standard adapter that you would normally use one of their brakes on, and then they have an adapter that I can thread right into my Silencer Co. suppressor that I can thread directly onto it, and as opposed to having to take my brake off, I can easily interchange the two, so it works really well, and I have it on a few different rifles. So that's the rifle. Ammunition wise, I went with I had Lapua brass that I used. The powder that I used was IMR 4064. I used CCI 450 primers. What else? Sierra Match King 168 grain bullets. So really, I mean, pretty standard configuration from a load development. And if you're missing any of those details, feel free to go back. I encourage you to start kind of earlier, because we started out with the rifle build, then we went to the, you know, where you're breaking it in, cleaning it, doing all that process, which kind of sucks, and then the next phase is load development. So we did that. We did some reloading in the shop here, took it out and tested it, and then after that, basically the last part of the process was to go out and test it, you know, and start shooting at a range. So today, of course, we went out from, you know, we started out, I zeroed it at 100 just to confirm. It was already really close, but And then I just went right out from there to 400, and then went out to 800 after that, and then to the 1140 target. So not gonna lie, I didn't hit every shot. I missed a few, and especially 1100. I mean, the wind wasn't bad. It was blowing about 8 miles an hour. But this thing's not moving, as you could see from the charts earlier. It's not moving terribly fast when it gets that far out. So I'm testing the extent of the ranges of 308. I'm sure I could, somehow or another spin it up further, but when you're, what is it, 70 feet or something it was dropping. So anyway, so I'm glad that you hung in there with me. If you've gotten to this far, go ahead and hit subscribe. Most of the videos probably won't be this detailed in nature, or at least maybe not a series like this one. I might do some detailed videos, but I'm going to try to keep it to maybe one topic at a time. I've had a few ideas I'd like to bring by you, or run by you. So if you're interested to learn a little bit more about it, feel free. Oh, one other key point that I probably should at least mention, the videos that I film, I use a DJI Mavic 2 Zoom drone. So it works pretty darn good. As you can see, a lot of the videos are pretty high quality. For basically, it's just a pretty small little drone. But to be able to run one out there at, 3/4 of a mile and it take pretty good video and shoot it back and actually be able to bring the thing home, it's pretty neat. So anyway, look forward to more in the future, and I hope you learned something. And feel free to leave a comment at the bottom. And if you have any feedback or anything that you think you'd like to see next.